Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, Shiva, we can hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we are going to speak about various important things like what exactly a resource group. Okay. So we are going to define these terms here. Once we create, okay, Azure account. Okay. So we have to know few things. What are the few things? One is subscription. That means one account can have multiple subscriptions. Okay, so subscription is going to define how you want to use Azure Cloud. Okay, so here based on our industry needs, we can have multiple subscriptions or single subscription. Okay, subscriptions are like free tier subscription, pay as you go. Okay, and enterprise subscription. Many subscription types are there based on industry needs. Okay, based on your personal needs. That means if you are only one user, okay, that wanted to use your Azure account, then you are going to use something like pay as you go. But in the industries, so they are not going to use something like pay as you go. So they are going to use some support subscription, okay, with support. Okay, so if something goes wrong, okay, immediately they must be able to contact Microsoft team. Microsoft team will come into picture. They will solve their industry problems. Okay, so that is another subscription. So always you have to remember that, okay, account is a collection of subscriptions. And what is meant by subscription? Subscription is a collection of resource groups. Again, resource group is a collection of resources. This is the hierarchy. So let me show it in a diagrammatic way so that it will be very clearly understood. Yeah, this is something like my Azure account. So under one account, I can have multiple subscriptions. Okay. So just for the sake of simplicity, just I am writing subscription 1, subscription 2, subscription 3. So here subscription 1, 2, 3 can be anything like free tier, pay as you go, enterprise subscription. It can be anything. Okay. Just for the sake of simplicity, I am writing something like subscription 1 and subscription 2 and subscription 3. So here, and this account is linked with multiple subscriptions like this. And one subscription can have multiple resource groups. Multiple resource group. So what exactly a resource group is? Resource group is nothing but it is a collection of resource. So in Azure cloud, so there is a beautiful concept called a resource group. So every resource that we are going to create will be a part of resource group. Every resource that we are going to create will be a part of a resource group. Okay. So my subscription can have multiple resource group, and just for the sake of simplicity, okay, I am writing something like RG1, RG2, and RG3. And in subscription 3 also, I can have multiple resource groups. So here these are just, you can imagine that here this is something like RG4, RG5, RG6. So here under subscription 1, I have 3 resource groups, RG1, RG2, RG3. Under subscription 3, I have 2 resource groups. Under subscription 3, I have only 1 resource group, that is RG6. And again, resource group is nothing but it is a collection of resources. Okay, so the virtual infrastructure that we are going to create, the virtual infrastructure can be like a virtual machine, can be storage, can be memory, can be database server. Okay, whatever it may be, every virtual infrastructure will come under one resource group. Okay, so here I am giving something like resource 1, okay, resource 2, and resource 3. So here resource 1, resource 2, resource 3. So these 3 comes under, okay, RG1. That means if I want to remove R1, R2, R3, sorry, R1, this is R2. R1, R2, R3, simply I can remove RG1. But in other clouds, there is no concept of resource group. Okay, so if I want to remove resources, individually you have to remove. But in Azure, so we have a concept of resource group. When you delete this RG1, what happens here? Whatever resources that are presented under RG1, okay, will be removed. Okay, that is going to save the cost, that is going to save money also. Okay, and under RG2, okay, I can have something like other resources. So for the sake of simplicity, okay, here I am writing something like R4, resource 4, R5, and R6. Okay, here these R4, R5 comes under RG2, and R6 comes under RG3. And here I can write some other resource groups like resources like R7, R8, and R9. Okay, so these can be linked. So I can link up these R7 with RG4, okay, R8 with this one, RG6 with R9. This is actual diagram. Okay, this is actual hierarchy of resources in our Azure cloud. And one more activity, one more important thing you have to remember. Okay, this is nothing but Azure Active Directory. So Azure Active Directory in simple terminology, so this can be called as something like it is a collection of users, database users. Okay, users database, and per active, every Active Directory is going to have, okay, one tenant. So tenant is nothing but it is a unique ID that is given to one Active Directory. Tenant is nothing but it is Active Directory tenant. Okay, so directly a tenant is linked with one Active Directory, and this Active Directory can be linked with multiple subscriptions. Subscription 1, subscription 2, subscription 3. Suppose I am using subscription 1 for my dev environment, subscription 2 for my QA environment, subscription 3, this is for my prod environment. Okay, so depends on company, your industry needs, you can have different subscriptions and different Azure Active Directories. So it is not that so per account, so you should have only one Active Directory. You can have multiple Active Directories per account, and such Active Directories, one Active Directory can be linked with multiple subscriptions. Suppose this Active Directory, okay, it is having it is an Active Directory for my IT team. So this is just, you can imagine, this is nothing but AD1, Active Directory 1. So for another team, just wait. Okay, so for another team called marketing team is there. For marketing team, I can have one more. Simply I can write marketing team. Okay, I can have one more Active Directory. This is AD2. Okay, so here just make an imagination here. So AD1, okay, is linked with subscription 1 and subscription 3. Means whatever resources that are presented under subscription 3, okay, can be used by AD1 team. Okay, so here AD1, AD2. So these two are the different set of users. So this AD1, this is for IT team, and the AD2, this is for my marketing team. Okay, so my marketing team, okay, I can link up this marketing team people with subscription 2. Okay, this is a hierarchy. So here, so while discussing Azure Active Directory, again we are going to discuss this structure once again. Okay, just this is only high level overview. Okay, you can have multiple Active Directories, okay, per account. Okay, one Active Directory per one team. Okay, here in this case, so this AD1, okay, it is Active Directory which is going to contain all IT people, and AD2, so it is a Active Directory. This is especially going to contain all marketing team people. And here this AD1, I am linking with the subscription 1 and subscription 2. Okay, again subscription 1, okay, it is something like RG1, RG2. So subscription 1 has 3 resource groups: RG1, RG2, RG3. Let me save this document. Guys, is the concept clear? Any questions?
Shiva, once again, can you please elaborate that AD1 and AD2? Can you please elaborate once again the AD1 and AD2 actually?
So AD1, actually Active Directory is nothing but it is a collection of users. Okay, so one Active Directory I am using, okay, for IT team, and another Active Directory I am using for marketing team. Okay, so this part have you understood?
Yeah.
And my plan is, okay, all IT people, okay, must be able to use all the resources from subscription 1 and subscription 2. And all marketing people must be able to the resources from subscription 3. Okay, suppose here in subscription 3, I have some resources like virtual machines, database servers, and virtual network in subscription 3. Okay, just imagine, because this R6 resource group 6 is having R7, R8, R9. Okay, so just imagine R7 is virtual machine, R8 is a database service, database server, R9 is something like networking. And here AD2, okay, so can use all the resources. So what are the resources it can use? R7 it can use, R8 it can use, R9 also it can use. Is the concept clear now?
Yeah.
The main definition of AD collection of users.
Yes. In simple terminology, okay. So the major definition of Active Directory is it is a collection of users. So Active Directory only contains all permissions. Okay. So when you join an organization, Okay, so your name will be entered in Active Directory. So in the Active Directory, okay, so the entire resources that you can use, okay, will be defined. And when you log in into your laptop, okay, sometimes you are not able to access some softwares, like sometimes you are not able to access YouTube. Is it correct or not?
Yes.
Have you come across that situation? Have you ever listened, I am not able to access YouTube, I am not able to access Facebook, I am not able to access other websites. Have you listened that term, by the way?
Yes, multiple times.
Yes, sir.
But where exactly that is defined, that kind of permissions, that kind of policies, that kind of roles are defined in Active Directory level. Okay. And while creating Active Directory and how to give permissions, policies, roles, okay, to different users. And we are going to define users, and for that users, we are going to give permissions at 3 levels. Okay. So what are the 3 levels here? So one is subscription level, other one is resource group level, other one is resource level. So what is meant by permission at subscription level means, suppose here, just for our imagination, I have 2 users called Scott and something like Thompson. So for this Scott user, I am giving permission at what level? I am giving permission to Scott level at Christian level, 1 level. And I am giving Thomas permissions at RG1 level. Is there any difference or not? There is no difference between Scott user and Thompson users.
Different.
Yes, sir. There is a difference for Scott. For Scott person under subscription one can access.
Yes.
Thompson
So,
RG1 only can access.
exactly. Okay, you are right. So for Scott, I have given permission set to subscription 1 level, so that he will be able to use RG1, RG2, RG3. Okay, for Thompson, I have given permissions only at RG1 level, so that he will be able to use only R1, R2, R1, R2, R3. Suppose here I have one more user. Okay, so suppose this user is something like James. For James, okay, I am giving permissions, okay, at resource level, this level, sorry. Okay, so for this James, I am giving permissions at this level, R1. Now you tell me, the permissions for 3 different users are different or same?
Different.
Different, right?
Different.
But he is having permissions on subscription 1, so that he will be able to use RG1, RG2, RG3. For Thompson user, I have given permissions at RG1. Okay, so RG1 contains what? R1, R2, R3. He can use R1, R2, R3. But whereas for James, I have given permission set which what level? R1 level. Okay, so these are nothing but permissions at subscription level, resource group level, resource level, and which is a very lowest level and which is very highest level.
Lowest,
Lowest
is the
lowest
regional,
level.
highest is the subscription level.
Highest is subscription. Lowest is what? Resource, right?
Yes.
In the middle, resource group comes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is about simple hierarchy, simple high-level overview of Azure account, subscriptions, resource groups, Active Directory. Okay, practically we are going to have 2 or 3 sessions for this. Okay, practically I am going to show everything. Okay, just before we are going to start working in Azure cloud. Okay, so we must be able to learn what exactly account is, what exactly subscription, resource group, resources. So these are the fundamental levels which you have to know before you are going to start okay, your practical part. That is why I have shown, okay, at high level point of view. Now, when it comes to Azure cloud, not only Azure cloud, okay, it can be any cloud. So we will have many services, right? Network service will be there, virtual machine service will be there, network database services, load balancers, okay, storage, memory, okay, file system, many services are there. Okay, so all such services are categorized into 3 levels. All such services, okay, are categorized into 3 levels. Okay, so in Azure, all services, okay, categorized into 3 groups. What are the 3 groups? One is compute service, second one is storage, third one is network. Now, as a part of compute service, okay, so we are going to learn something like VM management. VM management. As a part of VM management, we are going to create something like Windows servers, Linux servers, okay, how to configure softwares, okay, and how to protect a server, how to upgrade a server, okay, how to add storage to a server. So that kind of things we are going to discuss as a part of virtual machine management. Okay, so next, when it comes to so under VM management, so the subcategories are something like VM creation. So as a part of VM creation, we are going to learn, okay, Windows as well as Linux servers. Okay, so VM, okay, upgradation. So what is the need of upgrading a VM? Upgradation means, so today I have created a virtual machine with 1 GB of RAM, okay, and 1 virtual CPU. So in some cases, what happens here, okay, that virtual machine may not be sufficient when the application deployed in that is heavily used. So in that case, we have to upgrade the system. Okay, how to upgrade the system? In how many ways we can upgrade the system? In how many ways we can upgrade? Okay, so there are 2 ways actually. One is vertical, another one is horizontal. Okay, so these are the 2 levels. What are the 2 levels? Okay, so most of the cases we are going to use horizontal. Okay, so then what is vertical and what is horizontal? With along with practical examples, we will see, not theoretical. Next, VM protection. How to protect a VM? So suppose I have created a VM today. I have configured one important software that is running one important database. Someone has deleted the VM. How you can avoid such accidental deletion of the VM? How to protect a VM? Okay, so that is another category. Next, so when it comes to other service, other compute services, something like we are going to discuss VMSS. VMSS stands for Virtual Machine Scale Set. As a part of this, we are going to discuss something like load balancer also. Okay. Now, so these are the 3 services that comes under. Okay. So not 3. So here, how many services are there here? VM, under VM management, we have VM creation, VM upgradation, VM protection, and virtual machine scale set. As a part of virtual machine scale set, so we are going to discuss VMSS and load balancer also. Now when it comes to VM creation, so to create any virtual machine means it can be either Windows server. So always we are going to use server versions. I don't use any desktop versions like Windows 10 or Windows 11. I'm going to use Windows 22 or 2022 server. Okay, to create any virtual machine, generally what I need, we need something like OS image. So generally OS image can be provided by Azure Cloud, or it can be something like, so we can take a OS image from marketplace. Marketplace means some third party vendors are there. Okay, so their duty is to provide OS images. Okay, so in what cases we are going to take images from marketplace? That is also important discussion. And we have one more thing, that is shared image. Shared image gallery. Okay, from gallery also we are going to take OS image. This is the first component that we have to consider, that we have to know. Okay, that we require to create a virtual machine. Next, when it comes to instance type, we need to provide an instance type based on requirement. Generally, the requirement can be anything. In our second month to 12th month, so we have something like B1S is free. Most of the cases we are going to use B1S. Okay, B1S is, it is one kind of virtual machine with 1 GB of RAM, 1 GB of memory. Okay, that is enough for our practical sessions. Most of the scenarios, 90% of the scenarios, we are going to take B1S only. In only exceptional cases, when you want to create Windows servers, that is not enough. The size must be larger. So in that case, we are going to take a larger machine. Okay. So instance type, you can compare generally when I want to purchase a laptop. So we are going to consider many factors, right? Majorly, we are going to consider like CPU capacity, memory, storage. Okay. So these are the factors, okay, based on which instance type depends. Instance type, generally this, for example, this is B1S. B1S is a small virtual machine which is having 1 GB memory and one virtual CPU. So next, when it comes to third component that is required to create a virtual machine is, okay, credentials. So credentials, generally it can be something like SSH keys or password based credential. That means we can connect to a virtual machine either by using password or by using key file. Okay, so how we can do that we are going to discuss. Credentials are required, and apart from credentials, we need to specify something like NSG. So using NSG, we can provide security. Okay, we can provide security to a virtual machine. Network security group. Okay. So apart from this, we also need, okay, OS image is our instance type, credentials, network security group is over. So one more thing, that is network, where you want to create your virtual machine. By default, Azure will give a default network. Okay, so if you want to create your virtual machine within another network that we created, okay, we have to specify network also. Okay, network and subnets. So these are the 5 components that you need to provide, okay, to create a virtual machine. Now, so storage we'll discuss later. So our major focus is first compute service. So under compute service, we have to discuss VM management. Under VM management, okay, we are going to deal with VM creation, okay, upgradation of VM, protecting a VM, okay, virtual machine scale set. Okay, also I have forgotten to write. This is VM upgradation, right? Thing, VM creation, VM upgradation, protection, VMSS, and one more thing is AKS. This is something like Azure Kubernetes services. This we are going to discuss in Azure DevOps. Azure Kubernetes service. And apart from that, one more is there. Okay, these are enough. Storage we will discuss later. Now today, our major activity is okay to perform VM creation. So as a part of VM creation, so we must know what exactly mean by package management. Package management. So this is very much essential for any DevOps engineer. Okay, what exactly package management? It is a process of installing, uninstalling softwares on various operating systems. So when it comes to package management, we have to consider majorly 3 types of operating systems. What are the 3 types of operating systems? One is Linux type. Okay. And the second one is Windows. And third we don't write Mac, we don't use. Majorly we are going to use Linux. In Linux, we have 2 distributions. One is Debian group. Okay. Other one is RHEL. So RHEL stands for Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay. And under RHEL category, we have something like CentOS. OEL means Oracle Enterprise Linux and Fedora. Okay, these 4 flavors comes under RHEL. So under Debian family, we have something like Ubuntu. Okay. So when you want to do package management on Debian, so we have a package management tool called apt. Okay. So it is a package management tool for Debian, Ubuntu based operating systems. So how to use apt? Let us see. So the first command you have to use something like sudo apt update. So now when I execute this command, what happens here? Our local repository will be updated with a remote repository. So in our local machine also we have some repository list. Okay, so suppose my local repository is pointing to old versions, and the moment I say sudo apt update, what happens here? My local repository completely updated to latest version. Okay, so without this command directly we cannot install any software. So once you are executing this command, the next command to be executed is sudo apt install -y. Let us say I want to install a server like Apache 2. Okay, Apache 2 is a web server. Okay, our responsibility as a cloud admin or cloud engineer, cloud sysops engineer is to configure, and we have to verify it is working or not. Okay, so we don't use this server. So especially these servers are used by developers for deploying their application they are going to use. So our responsibility is to make sure that it is working. That is our responsibility. Now, when it comes to RHEL, okay, so there is a package management command called yum. Okay, so yum is just like apt, but it is for RHEL family. Okay, here I am going to write RHEL based operating systems. So here the sequence of commands will be like this here. So there is some difference here. Sudo yum update, sudo yum install -y HTTPD. Okay, this is equivalent of Apache 2 in Debian. But in case of RHEL, you have to do one more extra step. So in case of Ubuntu, the moment you execute this command, Apache 2 will be installed and it is started automatically. But in case of RHEL, we have to do one more extra step. What is that extra step you have to do? Sudo system ctl start httpd. Server must be started explicitly. But in case of Ubuntu, that is not required. Okay. So automatically after this step, you can check whether the server is running or not. Sudo system ctl. Okay. Status Apache 2. This is to check whether Apache 2 runs. And here, after this command, after Apache 2, after sudo system ctl start httpd, this is to explicitly start httpd server. After this only, you have to check the status of httpd server. Sudo system ctl status httpd. And here, this is to check the status of your Apache 2. Suppose once my software is installed, I want to uninstall it. To uninstall it, so you have to execute something like sudo apt -y. -y means auto approval. Okay, if you don't give -y, okay, during installation time, it will ask so this requires this much space. Okay, that requires this much space, whether you want to continue yes or no. Okay, that kind of complications are there. So when you add -y, okay, auto approval can be done. Okay, automatically the software is installed. Sudo apt purge -y Apache 2. Here, the equivalent one is what? Sudo remove. Sudo remove. Okay, httpd -y. Remove is equivalent to purge. This is with respect to Linux. And when it comes to Windows, generally on Windows operating systems, if I want to install softwares, how we are installing these many days? Suppose I want to install Git software. Okay, otherwise I want to install VLC media player. Otherwise I want to install MySQL server, SQL server, Oracle. Any software if I want to install, the traditional approach is first we are downloading and then we are installing. Right? But using Chaco, so there is a command, there is a package management command which is equivalent to apt in Ubuntu, m in RHEL. Okay, so it is a package management tool for Windows operating systems. So as a DevOps engineer, so we have to minimize the user interface. We are not supposed to do any user interface activities. Okay, we have to do every activity through commands only, through command line. Okay, from now onwards, at least we have to habituate to, okay, we have to make a practice of using commands from command line. So we are not supposed to use, okay, UI, user interface. So here Chaco is a package management tool for Windows desktops and server systems. Let me show one simple example. Let us see, suppose I want to install Git software. Okay, so here to install Git software, first of all, I have to set up Chaco. Chaco setup is only one-time job. Chaco installation on Windows. Just I am showing one example. Okay, this is a very easiest way. Rather than downloading and installing, if you execute a simple command, Okay, it will perform every activity. Okay, it downloads and it installs from internet. Okay, so here steps for installing Charcoal. This is again, I am telling this is only one-time job. But in case of Linux, you no need to install apt or yum. But in case of Windows, this will not come by default. We have to set it up. Steps for installing Charcoal on Windows operating systems. So from PowerShell,
Again, show me PowerShell window. Just a second.
huh?
PowerShell. How to install PowerShell? Show me once.
Not on PowerShell. This is Charcoal.
Okay.
Okay. So are you seeing? So just select like this. Charcoal installation on Windows.
Okay.
Have you seen now?
Yes.
Just to take just open first link itself.
Okay.
And just scroll it down. Okay.
Okay.
And just come to this place. Just copy this command. This is a PowerShell script. Okay. You need not to know PowerShell here.
Okay. Thank you.
This script you have to execute. Now, how to open the just open PowerShell in admin mode. Right click and choose run as administrator.
Okay. Thank you for the information.
Run as administrator. Just paste it over here. Whatever script I have copied from here, just you want to execute this, you have to execute this script from, okay, PowerShell admin mode. Okay, just close this PowerShell and relaunch it. Now check Charcoal -- version. When you are seeing this, some output means your installation is successful. Are you seeing 1.2.1? Now using Charcoal, I want to install Git. Okay, Git is a connector. Okay, suppose I have created a virtual machine in Azure Cloud. From my laptop, I want to log in into that. So to log in into that virtual machine, I need a software called Git. Okay, so I want to install Git. So to install Git, just simply you can ask like this: Charcoal Git. That's it. Okay, just this simple command you need to run. Otherwise, you need to search for Git in Google Chrome. Okay, Google. Then you have to download it. Then you have to install it. That is a lengthy process. So once the Charcoal installation is done, okay, using Charcoal, you can install every software in a easy fashion. Okay, this one. Just say -y. That's all. Already I have Git software. Okay, so here it is asking Charcoal install Git -y. Now close this window and relaunch it. Why we have to close this window means in Windows operating systems, installation will not take immediately. Whereas in Linux operating system, okay, installation will take immediately. We have to close the window, we have to relaunch it. Then only the installation will take place. Now you can inquire Git -- version. It is telling that Git is installed in your machine. Git version is 2.39.1 Windows.1. So when you are looking at this step means your installation is successful. This is one. And second, when it comes to second step, install Git using Charcoal. Again, from PowerShell admin mode. don't forget to launch PowerShell in admin mode. Okay, so if you launch PowerShell in normal mode, so you cannot install softwares. Okay, it will throw error that you are not in admin mode. Please execute this command in admin mode. Chaco install git -y. This is a command. Suppose for our practice purpose, I need Visual Studio Code. Okay, so Visual Studio Code. This is a Visual Studio Code where I am writing my notes. Okay, this is very much beautiful editor. Okay, for Microsoft applications like ASP.NET and for everything, it is very much interesting and very much beautiful. It is going to give hints. Okay, it is going to provide help in every aspect. I want to install this Visual Studio Code software. Okay, how to do that? Install Visual. These are softwares that are required for our AZURE DevOps sessions. Visual Studio Code. Okay, using Chaco. Same from PowerShell admin mode. How to run a command? Just query like this: Chaco Visual Studio Code. Very simple command. Very simple query. Very simple command. Query is very simple. Command is also very simple. Now you seeing one command here. Very simple command. Already I have Visual Studio Code. I don't want to install. Just I am showing. Just you have to execute this command. -y. That's all. Within 5 minutes. Okay. Your Visual Studio Code software is installed. So once you install, you can happily open this Visual Studio Code just by typing Visual Studio Code from here. Okay, since I am using Windows 11 operating system. Okay, so this is a look and feel. So guys, till this point, any questions, any doubts?
These Chacos are allowed MNC companies.
Yes.
Okay.
Chaco is for Windows operating systems. Like how we are using apt-m for Linux operating systems. Chaco is for Windows operating systems. Tomorrow I will show how you can execute, how you can set up this Chaco on Windows servers also. So our next step is, our next steps will be to launch a Windows 2022 server. Okay, to launch, okay, to set up IIS server. Okay, IIS is a app server for .NET applications, Internet Information Services. Okay, to set up IIS server. Okay, it is a app server for ASP.NET applications.
Yeah, Shiva, one question.
Yes.
What is the difference between this Debian and Linux?
Debian means it is one kind of Linux. Okay, Linux is generally, it is a generalized word. Suppose I can take one small example. Ice cream is there. Okay, ice cream is a generalized word, right? So in ice cream we have many flavors like vanilla, mango, okay, strawberry. Because these are the flavors, right? Is it correct or not?
Yes.
In the similar manner, Linux is a generalized word. Okay, under Linux, these are the two distributions. These are the two flavors. One flavor is Debian, other flavor is what? RHEL.
Okay. So all are open source only, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But RHEL is not open source. Okay. RHEL you have to purchase license. Okay. So, but almost 70% commands are same in Ubuntu and in Debian and RHEL. Okay, so once you learn Ubuntu, okay, so there is no much difficulty in RHEL. And when you run RHEL, there is no much difference in Ubuntu. Okay, one flavor learning is enough.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you.
And to set up IAS and to check whether IAS is configured correctly or not. And we also change the size of the virtual machine. Okay, so how to change the virtual machine size? How to add disks? So then once we finish in Windows servers, then I will come back. I will come to this Linux category. So on Linux, either I take RHEL or Ubuntu. Anyone is okay for us. Okay, so let us finish these Windows tomorrow. So then, okay, then we will start work on this Debian.
Hi. Any major difference between Linux and shell scripting?
Linux is an operating system. Shell scripting is a script. Okay, so shell script will have collection of commands that can be executed as a bunch, as a group.
Okay.
And if you want, when you are working on PowerShell, okay, so when you are working on Windows operating system, okay, there is a concept of PowerShell. PowerShell is it is something like your Linux shell scripting, but PowerShell is very powerful than Linux shell scripting.
Okay. Shell scripting are using Windows only.
No. Shell scripting is Windows PowerShell scripting is for Windows. Linux shell scripting is for Linux operating systems.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. You told in OS image, shared image means.
Shared image means we are going to create our own image. Okay. And how to create our own image, and from that, how to create our own virtual machine. Okay. That we are going to discuss. Okay. Then what is the need of creating our own image?
Okay.
That we are going to discuss. So shared image means the image that we created by us. Okay. Generally, images are provided by cloud service providers. Okay. In some cases, what we do, we create our own images, customized images. From that images also, we can create virtual machines. Am I clear?
Yes. What is the difference between a web server and a app server? Hello.
So generally, when it comes to entire architecture, web server contains the application which directly exposed to outside world. Suppose I have something like e-commerce application. So e-commerce application I can deploy, okay, in my web server. Okay, so that can be exposed to outside world. So internally web server will be communicating with app server. App server will be communicating with the database server. So app server cannot be accessed directly from internet, whereas web server can be accessed directly from internet. And do you know Java? Someone is asked, right, this question.
Yeah, sure.
So in Java, we have something like WebLogic and Tomcat. Tomcat is a web server. WebLogic is an app server. And for deploying enterprise Java Bean applications, generally we use app servers. And for deploying web applications like Java servlets and JSP, we use something like Tomcat.
Okay.
Okay, so tomorrow we connect at same time again. Okay, if no queries are there, I will stop it for today. Tomorrow we meet again.
Okay, sir.
Suppose like
Okay,
That
same
one
thing.
is one.
Yes,
Sir, as you told that install Choco and all, that is one tool so that we can install all other tools, right, sir?
yeah. Chaco is only one tool. This is just like after M in Linux. Okay,
Yeah,
Chaco
yeah.
setup is only one time job.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Once you set up Chaco, okay, it is going to perform two activities. Suppose I want to install Git. Generally, to install Git, we have to download, we have to install, right? But when I say Chaco install Git, it downloads and it installs. It is going to perform two jobs.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, we'll be
Yeah.
discussing here some shell scripts also, right, sir? Oh,
Shell scripts actually no. Okay,
no.
for shell scripts, I will
Okay.
provide some links. Okay, in YouTube. Okay, so I
Okay,
have some videos. Okay, I
Okay,
will share the links.
Okay, sir.
We provide any real-time scenarios.
What real-time scenarios? Everything is real-time. No real-time, no non-real-time. Everything is real-time only. Okay, generally people will misguide you. Okay, some scenarios are real-time, some scenarios are not real-time. Okay, it is not like that. Everything is real-time only.
Okay,
So
resume preparation also.
whatever thing is coming from my mouth is completely real-time.
Okay. Resume preparation also.
That
we
is
are
at the
providing.
end of the course.
Okay, thank you. Record section also given.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Don't think that something is non-reality and something is real, because some people misguide you. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Don't think that you can
Somebody
ignore few things.
misguided.
So if I say real time, you will be ignoring other things. But my suggestion is don't ignore even single thing. Okay. So whatever things, whatever the aspects, whatever activities we are going to discuss in our classroom, everything is reality, everything is real time only.
Okay.
Shiva, one more thing. So what we means for the deployment, server deployment over the cloud will like discuss over the DevOps classes, or as in the Azure?
So here we are going to show deployment. Okay, how to host your application, that we are going to see in DevOps.
Okay. What about the configuration and all? That is like ASPAS and like all the three structures of the cloud.
What do you say? Can you come again?
Infrastructure is asking about infrastructure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
infrastructure creation, that is done in admin part. Okay, so this infrastructure that we are creating in admin, okay, that we are going to use in DevOps.
Okay.
Sir, one question, sir. I was attending one of the interview. What is it? Git cherry, sir? Git cherry. 1 second.
Not cherry pick, I think.
Git, yes, sir. Cherry pick, sir. Git cherry pick. I don't have any idea on that one.
Cherry pick means generally
Okay.
in version control system, we are going to create branches. Okay.
Okay.
And when you want to bring changes from one branch to other branch, we have totally 3 methods. One is merging, rebasing, and cherry pick. Okay. So when I say merging and rebasing, what happens here? All changes will come into other branch. But when I want to reflect only one particular change, we can use cherry pick.
Okay. Fine, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I think still if you did not register, please register by today. I think from tomorrow link might be changed. So if you register, if you pay fees already, so you can ignore this. And for the paid students, I am going to share all the recordings, material, AG 104, AG 400 material. Okay, everything we are going to provide.
Okay. Sir. We'll be getting by mail only, no, sir? Or you will be creating?
Yeah, everything by mail only.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir. Today's recording will be uploaded.
Uploaded?
No. Today's recording will get it by tomorrow, right, sir?
Yeah, because they are uploading. It is not in my hand. They are uploading.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
guys. Tomorrow we meet again. Have a happy days. Tomorrow we meet again at the same time with same link.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot.